I met years ago at Busboys and Poets. And he was like, yo, I'm an artist and I want to be one of the best. I want to get better. Like, you know, you got any words for me? And I was like, brother, keep doing what you're doing. And now look, we share the same stage, bro. And you the poet laureate. I've been watching your work, bro. I'm extremely proud of what you've been doing, bro. Extremely proud. Extremely proud. With that said, you want to kick it off?
Sure. Yeah. You don't stop. All right, I see what you did.
You can stand.
So, I am indeed the 2019 Youth Poet Laureate. It's an honor to be here, and it's been an honor to serve as a laureate. With that, I don't plan on stopping just because I'm giving my office to someone else. I plan on even going higher and higher and doing more things for poetry. So my first piece that I'm gonna do is called Color as Character, and pretty much this whole piece was just a free write. You know, sometimes I just get really deep in thought about history, where I come from as an African American male in America today, and so this poem is just bred out of that. Can y'all hear me?
No, we need the mic.
What's happening with the mic?
Crown King, as I exit out the womb. And God's glory was already written on the stone of my tomb. You see, my skin is flawless as I were coloring these lines. As this black and brown beauty, crystal clear to the blind. See, you gotta know your worth, and then tax it. And then everyday practice. And everything was already set up to never say what the fact is. You see, I can see blackness so attractive. But with a shame in this country, it came with fatal attraction. You see, I bear the blackest arms. She rings the alarm. And she could look in the mirror and she know that she the bomb. She's such a heat wave. Bear the heat like we've been slaves. Took that bondage and we painted gold on our chains to wave you. Nah, either I grew too comfortable or I just did what black folks do. Let's make the best out of anything that we come across. Seize faith, dreams, hopes. We was never lost. When there's superheroes among us. I mean, we hold our heads high, even though they hug us. But adversity, we hate that. And progress, they hate that. And tens don't work better than they can't make that. So there's only one God that I know can create that. I come from a lineage of warriors, engineers, pharaohs, and pioneers. But best believe we done seen our fair share of pain, struggle, and bloody tears, and poverty and potent fears, and high hopes and poetries, and funerals with a couple peers. I mean, we took the bad with the good and the good with the bad. A couple whites who did some good, a couple blacks who gone bad. But that moral of the story is, if you don't learn to love yourself, you ain't ready for combat. Don't let them make you think different, they will do it on contact. You see, I meet my destiny with this dark skin. I happily signed that contract. Why? Our black is everything. The world's most precious ancient artifact. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go, Orville.
So, I'm gonna stay in that vein. All right, so here we go. Man, I really don't want to use the mic, but I'm gonna obey the rules because Sister Joy gave that microphone. So this piece is called Black History Month. I wish I could put bubble bath in Harriet's tub, man, till she felt no more pain. Then I would shine Malcolm X's shoes so good as if the bullets never came. Then I would tap George Washington Carver on the shoulder and carve him the woman of his dreams. Then I'd personally thank County Cullen for picking up his pen and tell him that because he did, riders like I were able to begin. Then I would ask Arthur Ashe when he was swinging his racket, did he see Jesse Owens dash across the finish line? And on the racket he caused. And Hitler hated that brother so much he even mentioned him in his memoirs. Then I get to tour the entire scenery via those brothers, the airmen of Tuskegee. Then I would high-five Martin Luther King. Then we would sit and watch a dream unfolding on DVD. And of course, first I rewinded my favorite, Muhammad Ali, you know, floating like a butterfly.
Sting like a bee.
Visiting Africa, going through Nigeria and Ghana, and visiting with freedom fighters like Mandela, and witnessing all the Marcus Garvey banners. Then I finally witnessed a time where black minds were emerging out of their cocoon, thanks to the diligent work of Mary McLeod Bethune and Harry Belafonte. We later laughed and cried to the words of Bill Cosby. We were always impressed with Denzel Washington's work with the youth, and we thank God every day for Isabella, because she freed Sojourner so we could see the truth. And looking at Obama and the journey he took, and the feeling the pride as a racist, he put his hands on the book. I mean, greats from the past and their efforts well spent. Who thought in America we'd ever see a black president? Great things are yet to come, and the past is evidence. Black history isn't a day or month, it's a mindset. That's that piece right there.
Woo.
All right. What you talking about, cuz?
Alright, Orville. Gotta match your energy, okay. So tell me, if you want to be free, and tell me, do you really do agree? And tell me if you know what it means. See, I ain't no slave, I don't behave to your means, no. No, like that, I got them keys like, hey, and what you hunting for, boy, ain't no prey. So I drop down to my knees and pray. When I'm talking to God, please have an answer like sway. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Is that piece of the pie too good for me? And what makes you think I should go with the rookies be? See, I'll be cooking up another one, I got that recipe. Loose chains, so I needed to be. See, it's blood when the leaves throw up a letter B. Crip the people, they throwing up a letter C. Well, if that ain't so fake, then won't you let me see? See, that's after the R, the double the E. But see, freedom ain't free, now they double the feet. Freedom for who, like W.E. Bump the beat, now we rumbling. This ain't no WWE. I see it's back to the back for a black man. Back to the back for another black man. Ah, okay. Black man, black man. Well, if life is a game, then what's the name? Pac-Man? So how we develop got them answers, but we still ain't got that cure for cancer. And tell me if I go off on a tangent, but I mean all the lies, I just still can't stand it. See that fakest love? I can't stand it. And the fakest love, most is underhanded. And see all the hatred, I can't take it, so help me, Lord, please, I won't make it, nah. Tell me, do you want to be free? A free man like I don't need a receipt. Keep me free from making the same mistake, no repeats. I'm free from the action I don't gotta receive. Just keep me free from labels. Would you look at me different if I was disabled? Or how would you feel with turntables? If I had a DJ to turn these tables, spin the records, ain't that crazy? They say love kindness and then yet you hate me. Well, the mental illness seem a certain way, but they give you more hate if you gay. Then why this game do we play? See, I ain't no killer, I ain't no thug. Why the shoulder shrug when I just need some love? If she needed a hug, where the church at? A short skirt, now does your love stop pulling back? If she smells like weed, does she not bleed? You're not one to judge, jump up and leave. Like if I was a druggie, I've been there and did that. Had a couple screws loose, mind driven off the back. Might have popped a couple pills, got me had a couple wheels. Probably talked to the devil, probably made a couple deals. Probably been locked up behind a 4-ball sensor. See, ain't nobody perfect. Every saint is still a sinner. So tell me if I go off the rainbow. The word is ugly, masquerading handsome. You feeling like I done freaked a panther. See, all my love, I just need an anthem. Won't have me laid up, yelling ain't one. This is for the people, freedom anthem. This is for the people, this is my anthem. I had to preach and now in peace, but not done. Tell me, is it just me? Am I the only one that just want to be free? Free from all the corruption and all that ugly destruction. Keep me free from all the lies. One day I know we rise. I know. And through all that, still gotta get better. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, come on, man. That boy spars. Okay, so are we in the family tree? I could be super honest with y'all. Y'all ain't gonna judge me?
Yes. Safe space.
I don't know. It wasn't a lot of yeses. It's like 1 or 2.
I know.
Maybe I'll keep it.
Speak your truth, Orville.
Alright, cool. So this poem I'm gonna share, right? I never wrote it down until recently because it's gonna be in a body of work I'm putting out. But the first time I penned it was in my mind, and I was sitting in a space 6 by 6. Follow me. Sometimes the world is so loud, God gotta get you in a space where you can only hear him. And so I wrote this in my head in a cell with a brother who I'd never met before. And his first words to me was, I know you ain't supposed to be in here. Me, this is it for me, but you ain't supposed to be in here. So, have you ever prayed to God for something you wanted so bad, and he told you no? By myself, cool. Have you ever prayed to God? Try it again. Y'all feel free to give me some energy, like this the show. Like, yeah, we here, you're here. I'm gonna bounce some energy. Maybe you bounce it back to me, you know.
Okay.
All right, cool. We good now?
Yeah.
All right. Some of y'all look like y'all got the itis now. Had that chicken and cornbread. Anyway, all right, here we go. Have you ever prayed to God for something you wanted so bad, and he told you no? And if you're like me, you stubborn, so you kept praying about it, you kept praying about it, you kept praying about it, and God said, you know what, okay, here you go. And as soon as you received that thing, you realized it was the worst possible thing you could have ever asked for. And see, that happened to me. And when it did, it left my emotions and spirituality in a barrage. My current perspective on life flawed, but see me, I'm hard-headed. I needed those moments to bring me closer to God. But see, staying that way is hard. It's hard for me to be content when my dreams are elastic, but it seems that God was that belt I didn't tightly fasten. In fact, I sagged him. So it shouldn't be a surprise when what I want doesn't match what God has granted. Sometimes I find myself praying and demanding instead of listening and fasting myself to his word. So I always pray this prayer that God gives my audience members transparent sight. Because even though you see me, I do wrong. Help them still see the light. The fact I may sin tonight is a plight that burdens my soul. Lord, your spirit is captivating, but to keep it 100, sometimes the world excites my soul. Help me grab the hem of your garment before I'm too old. I'm a rebel and often don't do what I'm told, but I'm realizing these trials you throw in my life are my only way of paying toll. See, I'm trapped behind bars and lines that say you will never ever make it. But even if I'm wrong and fall short, that's still a risk worth taking. Sometimes I'll ask myself, is it really worth it? I'll have deep thoughts of what to convey in front of crowds, but on paper, I can never make them sound perfect. I sacrifice my personal life every time I step to the mic for mere strangers' enjoyment. God said you were cut a while back, and this tool I've given you is the ointment. Your words will heal and deliver, make the fake shiver, so never question why you do what you do. And whatever I bestow, no man on earth can take away from you. Don't use your talents mainly to battle or gain fame. And first and foremost, whatever you do, remember my name. God, please do whatever you see necessary or fit to keep me on the right course. Because I would rather be an ugly human being still left with a chance than end up a beautiful Channel 5 News corpse. That's that piece, y'all. MC, what's good, bro?
So, this piece right here, I wrote after I was made aware of the passing of Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey, for me, was he is one of my influences when it came to my music. And so I was finishing up my album, and so I decided I had to put this piece on there, and it's called Unity. It goes like this. So I gotta speak truth when they cover up, because in the name of Nipsey, I get my hustle up. So I hustle, motivate till they appreciate. It's back to business, we don't have no time to deviate. I mean, I know I ought to change my behavior, showing all love and borrow sugar from my neighbors. Ain't no guarantees when I tell them see you later, so I said let's put that money up and buy the block back from the haters. See, I know they hate us, huh? Black owners, we up. All out of property, I think it's time to re-up. You see, it's liquor stores on every corner, they trying to corner us in. Infect the neighborhood, they gon' kill each other from within. But ghetto living, we done. We do it step by step. And unify the community, do it set by set. Revolution won't be televised, it's narratives to paint. But the biggest lie of all is still America the same. So I'm taking back control. I gotta play the role. You know the real never fold, we ain't never taking fools go. You know we was in that kitchen slaving to that freedom brain. So a piece of the pie, nah, I work the whole thing. You see, it's bigger than rap, and it's bigger than me. This for my future little homies so they get to see who we are, what we did, and what we really about. See, if I got a voice, I'ma use it, so you gon' hear me out. I mean, you gonna hear me shout waves all across the mountains. And what we do when we together, it be so astounding. We can leave them dumbfounded, so they don't think we found it. It's knowledge out there, I gotta stay well-rounded. See, Nipsey said they killed Seth because he was teaching health. So they killed Nipsey for teaching that because knowledge is wealth. And your wealth is your worth. And so for what it's worth, before they try to make it worse, I can't match your word. See, I just love to see the unity. And everybody ballin' my community. Everybody eats. You can get a plate. My people divine and they cannot relate. See, I just love to see the unity. When everybody ballin' my community. Everybody eats. We got each other's back. Taking back the game. Ain't no looking back. Thank you. Let's go, Orville. You get it, baby.
Oh, man, how old are you?
19.
19.
December 19th, September.
Wow.
19, man. Everybody worried about the youth. The youth are all right. Yes, the youth are okay. What about us adults? So this is my last piece. This is brand new. This is very, very new. This is where I am right now in my life and my walk. I realized that words are powerful. And even in the Bible it says, you know, life and death are in the tongue. And in poetry, you know, when I first started, it's like, oh, you're a spoken word poet. I was like, where have I heard that terminology before? The Bible, spoken word. So this poem was entitled Poems and Prayers. Poems and Prayers. Poems and prayers. Poems and prayers. I gotta be honest with y'all. These ain't poems. These prayers. I've been sharing my fears for years. Hearts, wants, and desires. In front of strangers on stages who may not even listen or know that your stuff is fire. Who may be taking selfies. Or even worse, boo you when you speak. It's been nights I wanted to finish these verses about my mom and poems, wanted I wanted something to eat, or any accolade or trophy. And honestly, if you ain't seen me perform on stage in the last few years, then you don't know me, because I'm moving differently. There's a change on how I've been delivering. I sat in my room solo, looked myself in the mirror and said, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you gotta do some more listening. I started checking things off my to-do list, and enemies started doing some more whispering. Watch out for those folks who are apparent in your rough draft, but never assist in your process, but want to be front stage thesis in your final copy. I woke up one morning with fresh adoration on my breath and realized, hey, oh, only you can stop me. See, these ain't poems, these prayers. I read poems and stuff, but I also record music in the booth. I was bragging to just me. I got like 100+ poems. He said, oh yeah? How many of them poems you done told the truth? These ain't just poems. These prayers. See, before I come and present anywhere, I talk to myself now. Like, hey, Orville. Just making sure you uplift the room's crown does nothing internally for you now. Because when they ain't around, there's no loss like letting you down. So make sure every verse is your best. Spit truths, and not just for the sake of rhyme. Because if you sound dope on stage but lie to yourself when you work, all of this is a waste of time. Passion should be the only P word on your mind when writing down thoughts. Spit it because you love it, don't spit it for no thoughts. Deliver every word like your mom gonna hear. And even if no one applauds, make sure in your heart is peace there. Because this peace here has the potential to bring peace here. Yeah. Maybe youngins on the block coming and putting down their peace here. Maybe even in the middle of the night with this peace here, with this gift, you got the chance to do something special. Remember to stay prepared and snatch opportunities, and nobody won't let you. And to make it to 35 years old is something special. Because at 45 years old, they killed young up the block with something special. Remember to snatch every year, opportunity, moment and minute. Will you be happy right now if your life ended? Can you honestly say you put in the necessary work to be great and never pretended? Or if you listening? Thank you guys so much. My name is Orville the Poet. Appreciate y'all having me out. So real quick before I go though, real quick. This lady, Sister Key, can you just join me up here real quick? She didn't know I was gonna do this, but I just had to do this. So there's people in your life who will push you to where you didn't think you could go. When I first met Sister Joy, I think I knew like 3 poems by heart, if that. And Sister Joy had a television show. She put me on a television show. I was a feature everywhere, every church, everything. She introduced me to other people doing other things. Poetry's my life now. Like, this is what I do all the time now. Yo, you saw it. I didn't see it. You saw it. And so you also, out of this community, was the last person other than Karika to see my mom, right? And so what you don't know, so I lost my mom to cancer August 5th, 2015. And the surprise party was for me. This is how dope my mom was. So like we planned a surprise party for my mom. My mom was like, haha, no, it's actually a surprise party for you. So I walked in, there's Sister Joy, everybody, I'm like, yo, it's crazy. But so my mom shared with me, she was like, you see people like Sister Joy? And so my mom was Jamaican, so I'm paraphrasing because it was like real thick, heavy accent at home. So you see people like Sister Joy, this is someone who's gonna fan your flame. You want people in your life that are gonna fan your flame. All right? So Sister Joy, in front of everybody here, I've told you this personally before, but I like to give people their flowers where we can still smell them. Thank you so much for pouring into me, for seeing something in me that I didn't really see. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. They're definitely blessed to have you here. You're a special person, for real. Thank you guys so much. Good night.